Hey everyone, welcome to another video on the JayBee and Milly channel. Today we're going to be doing another Scooby top 10, and our top 10 today is our top 10 favourite moments from the new Scooby-Doo movie, Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. So again, I guess as always, we say top 10, but this is ultimately going to be my top 5 and JB's top 5. In the rare instance that we agree, it may make it less than a top 10, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So JayBee, I know you like to have your elaborate criteria, whereas mine just comes from the heart. So if you've got any criteria, please state now.
So it's not a Halloween season anymore. For all it's technically a Halloween film, Halloween and Fear Factor aren't really going to play a big role in this. This is purely just how much I enjoyed it. That's kind of my one and only criteria.
Okay, great. Well, in that case, I'm looking forward to us disagreeing throughout our top 10.
Wait, did you do scary stuff?
No. But I just know that...
Oh, we've got different tastes.
As soon as I say the first one, you're going to be like, no.
Oh my god.
So, I'm prepared. Okay.
When do I ever do that?
So, we're starting off with my 5th place, which doesn't mean it's my least favourite part of the movie. It's still made it to the top 5. It's a worthy mention. And that is the intro. I really like the adaptation on the original song, and I think it's really fun to see. Like,
I thought you meant the skiing.
No, like the kind of introduction, the rewrite of the original song. Ultimately, like, you know, we've heard how there was initially a couple of different versions of What's New Scooby-Doo and how that transitioned and developed. So it was just really interesting to see a new take on this as well. And I think they did it well. They used it to move the plot forward, but ultimately it was just a great callback to the original. And to some extent, one of the first references where we were going to be like, this is a really strong homage to the classics. It's going to pay tribute to all our favourite original content.
And if you do want to hear a few more details about the behind the scenes of the writing and the production of that song, we did interview Audie Harrison, who was the director, executive producer, and of course, co-writer. So that'll be linked in the description, along with all of our other Trick or Treat interviews.
I was going to say, I think it's worth linking in the description as well the Easter eggs video you did, because I've just talked about there how this was a first callback to the original, and actually the first callback was the kind of original wintry outfits that they redid. So we did a video kind of picking up on every little reference point, and we'll link it in the description below, but that was JB's work and it was very impressive.
Oh, so we have done a lot, and we're not just like advertising garbage here. Literally full breakdown of Easter eggs and like 3-4 Trick or Treat interviews. That's pretty good. So my number 5 is, and I suspect if this isn't on your list, maybe it's higher up, it is Ballroom Blitz. So, oh gosh, no, because I did kind of deduct this, not on Fear Factor basis, but just the fact that given the tone of the movie and what it was trying to do, it actually didn't really fit at all. Like, it fit with the movement and the direction of the characters, but it didn't fit with the tone, what was happening. It was a very mismatched song for the scene it was in, but in actual fact, it's such a great song, and it surprised me because all the time from, I think, pre-Sword and the Scoob, maybe even including Sword and the Scoob, they kind of quit with the whole musical aspects of some of the things, which of course, us growing up watching What's New Scooby-Doo, that's like the main thing that we think of really when it comes to like what we remember, what stands out. And so the fact that they actually, you know, I guess spent the money on the licensing for such a popular song, it like surprised me. And even though it didn't fit in, I was like, yes, I want more of this. So yeah, that's why it's number 5.
No, it was a good song and certainly worthy of a top 5 slot. So I guess moving on to number 4s, and my number 4 is when they walk through the jail and see again all the old villains. It was kind of like, oh my gosh, so this is what happened to you. And again, it just made me feel so nostalgic, and it finally seemed to add some continuity to the Scooby series, because ultimately all the movies are great existing on their own, but this is one that really ties everything together and almost validates that it happened. Usually speaking, a Scooby movie doesn't validate that something happened before it, or, you know, that it's linked to the others in any way, shape or form. And just seeing that kind of was almost like visiting people from my childhood, just like, oh, that's what happened to you, oh my gosh, you're here too. And no, I just really enjoyed it.
Forgive me for asking, but when you saw that initially, were you predicting that they'd end up like cabin in the woodsing them, like they'd all be unleashed?
I didn't think there'd be a scene where they all escaped, but I no, I didn't. No.
Instantly, I was thinking Cabin in the Woods, but I was
Yeah, but
actually
you're
disappointed.
crazy.
I thought they would all go to like, okay, so this is a tangent, but maybe I'll clip this. But I was thinking that they would run from their cells to like a storage room full of contraband, and we were just gonna get an army of the classic villains like rampaging through the town.
Kind of like that evidence room where they get the little costumes back and stuff. Oh,
so I was very happy that they were released and that we had Ghost Clown Shaggy versus Ghost Clown,
Yeah, I
Ghost
prefer
Clown.
what they did with that.
But I really wanted them to just evidence room it and just have like Gator Ghoul and the Tar Monster like breaking into someone's house. Like I wanted it to be a horror basically, but you know what I mean? I will clip that actually because I just
No, leave it in. It was worthy. It was a good point.
So my number 4, and you're gonna rip me apart. But it's my enjoyment.
You can't say the shape of Daphne in the Guess Who style, JayBee.
No, don't say that. It is when Daphne becomes the leader of Mystery Inc. at the end. Just the little talk, because I like it when Fred, and this is going to sound rude, but it isn't. I like it when Fred and Daphne can just be intimate together. So that, when I say that, I mean like a one-on-one, honest conversation. You know, like at the start of Zombie Island, where they're reflecting upon the island in the sunset, like, oh, this is quite a romantic spot, isn't it? And then they just reflect it. To me, it was a bit like that. It wasn't as cinematic, of course, but it was just, they were just there reflecting on what happened, and it was really cute.
For me, it was better than that because, like, there you're like, oh, isn't this romantic? Like, it's going on to that kind of love or like lustful
Love
kind
Island
of vibe, as opposed to what we see here, which is just respect for each other and acknowledging Daphne, as opposed to it being in a romantic setting. It's actually just on a human level, and I like that a lot. It's great to see a reference and a nice moment between them two that isn't a, are they gonna kiss? It's
but
like
I also like how they didn't have to make Fred like they didn't have to downgrade Fred to upgrade Daphne. Like it wasn't just, oh, there's Fred being an idiot. Like you genuinely believe that he thinks that the driving the mystery machine is a higher honor than being the leader, and he can think that, and he genuinely does enjoy it. He doesn't just go, oh, I guess I'm the leader really, and like Daphne's making a joke behind his back. It was a mutual thing, and I like it.
To him, like doing that is more important because he likes the mystery machine. Like that's his thing. He loves it. Shaggy and Scooby love Scooby snacks. It doesn't, that to them, that's more important than being the leader of Mystery Inc. Everyone's got their own thing.
I liked it a lot. It was great. In fact, the more I speak about it, the more I wish I boosted it up. But ultimately, it was such a quick moment, and I don't think that they're going to carry it on. And to be honest, the same message was said 20 plus years ago at this point. So I do think maybe they should have been past it, but it was nice to have. That's why it's number 4.
I'm starting to think your top 5 could be better than my top 5 here. Okay, so in 3rd place, I really like the scene where, where Velma kind of first sees Coco Diablo and she does the screening and she has those kind of tags coming off, labels. For me, that calls to something that I really enjoy. So for those of you that have seen the BBC adaptation of Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, it kind of shows Sherlock as this incredible, like, intelligent, over thinking, literally like the machine, basically. Like he sees labels in the air and kind of explaining things exactly the way Velma does. And for me, that just drew an incredible parallel because obviously Sherlock, incredible intelligence, Velma as well. I kind of doubt it in some instances, but meant to be incredible intelligence. And just to see that parallel and kind of, oh, so that's how your brain works, like this other really intelligent person. And I remember when JayBee and I were watching the Sherlock episode together, he was like, oh, so this is what it must be like to be in your brain, because he sees me as really clever. And to some extent, I like to think that I do kind of like analyse things in a certain way. I don't know, I just really enjoyed seeing that kind of...
Whereas I analysed nothing, except for Easter eggs, in more ways than one. I want that to be a TikTok trend, the Coco Diablo challenge, where like couples on TikTok they can edit in what they saw the first time they met. That would be cute, right? Maybe for Valentine's Day we can get that trending. What do you think the labels will have come up for me?
No comment.
Amazing. Caramel chocolate skin.
It depends what time we're classing as when we met.
Well, we'll look into that. We'll look into that. So, I think I have shocked the world because we've got the same three. The Coco intro is my third one.
Wow.
So, pretty much for the same reasons, and obviously, like, canonizing all of that stuff, and yeah, it surprised me. In fact, it was the only moment spoiled for me from Twitter, so I'm really a bit disappointed that I didn't get to see that live. I just saw a brief clip of it. I didn't know how far it was going to go. All I saw was the analysis and then Velma going like, Jinkies, or whatever she says. I didn't know how far they would take it onwards, but I did see that initial clip.
We might disagree here. Because the, Jinkies part wasn't part of mine. Like, mine was just how it was presented. I haven't actually put the Velma Coco Diablo thing in my top 5, because I think it was good. It's great that they did it. But I also don't think it should be made like a spectacle of at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, they did this. It has to be top 5 because they did it.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like, no, they didn't do it. They were meant to do it 20 years ago, and they were too scared of the reception. They probably planned to do it 10 years ago and then were scared of the reception. Like, ultimately, they've just been throwing guys in there for Velma because they've been too scared to do this.
Don't say that, because that's exactly what I said in our review for Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, and you ripped me apart.
Yeah, but...
about Seth Green.
Yeah, because he deserved defending, but Warner Brothers don't. Anyway, so that's kind of like my stance on it. Like, mine was just how the Coco Diablo thing was presented. I kind of want to make a point of stating that mine doesn't extend as far as yours, because I don't want to put that in my top 5 purely because I don't want to make a spectacle of it.
To me, it wasn't as good then as how they portrayed a similar thing in episode 1 of Be Cool. That's why mine kind of extends. And obviously... for me, Velma getting obsessed with Coco, even if she was a bit, and I think people have like criticized her for being dumbed down, but she wasn't trying to ruin the mystery. She wasn't trying to be supernatural. So if she's distracted with Coco, like if I could make one change then to anything of Scooby lore, I would just stick Coco Diablo in like Curse of the 13th Ghost, because then Velma was too distracted to ruin the ending of that. Yeah. So that's my philosophy. Okay, so are we into our top 2 now? Yeah. Here goes. But we should do 2, and then we should do... And don't you ruin this again. Okay. You can stop. Okay, so my second place is when the 10,000 volt ghost lit up. I was like, this is when that is the moment when I knew that movie was going to be good. My 2's your 1 there. Because when I saw that, I was just like... okay, this is amazing. This movie is going to call on so many original things that I'm so excited to see. I love how it looked. They did an incredible job. And it was also like when you saw the suit, you didn't know that's what it was going to be. So when it was that, it was just on so many levels. It was like, I'm so excited for this movie. Yeah. I agree. You know what? I didn't include that. Spoiler alert, I didn't include that. But I was overwhelmed when I first saw it because they got the animation exactly the same as in the new Scooby-Doo movie. I mean, I just remember being so excited when I saw it because for me, it was like, oh my gosh, you're doing this. You're doing what, like, might be spoilers for different movies entirely, but like you're doing what the new Spider-Man movie did, and you're doing what other movies like the Ghostbusters movie did, the new one. Like you're doing what the movies have been doing over the last couple of years, which is that really strong fanfare where you play great tribute to some originals. And honestly, in that moment, I have never been more excited to watch the rest of a Scooby movie. Like that is the epitome of okay, I'm invested. And I've never like watched a Scooby scene that's got me like that quick on that level of I'm invested. That's surprising. But then again, it is the most cinematic shot, I think, within the whole scene, because even what should be cinematic is still kind of cute, which is what my second one is, which is what I think your first is, which is when the Mystery Inc. gang first suit up as the villains, and you see them in that kind of Avengers-style pose. Now, I just like it because it's just different, but like the way that they're designed is amazing. And who they assigned to who, I think they got absolutely perfectly. I just love it a lot. Yes. I knew exactly where it was going from there. It wasn't what I originally thought, But then when I knew that they were gonna be like putting them against each other, I was like, yeah, I want to see more of this.
I mean, I guess like you say, we're going to move on to number ones now.
Or was this honourable mentions now?
You do this every time. I hate you so much.
Oh,
Why
no,
do you do this?
Because our formats are different. Because me personally...
You're never in charge of the format. I introduce them.
Oh, no,
I always go first.
Me personally,
So,
I would do honourable mentions.
As this was meant to go... As this was meant to go, okay, we're now moving on to our first place in terms of the best moment.
I'm so sorry.
Let's bear with JayBee for a few minutes.
Because I have done that continuously, but every time I'm genuinely...
Every time you think I've forgotten, it's just the format.
Every time I've genuinely been confused.
Yes, because you're a moron. We're on the fifth one of these or something, and you've still not learned that I do it the same way every time. You're like, you forgot.
We should do your honourable mentions, my honourable mentions, then your one.
No, that's not how this works.
Okay.
Shut up.
Let me know in the comments.
Shut up.
Well, don't say that, because we're friendly people.
I'm not friends with you. I'm friends with the audience, not you. Okay. Let's try this again without JayBee being a moron. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So now we're on our first place mentions, but before we do, there's certainly some that could have made it to the top 5. Like, for me, I guess seeing the new Mystery Machine, it was good, it was. I feel like it could have been better, and I feel like it wasn't the biggest moment because it's kind of stylized off a character that we've only seen a couple of times and we're not going to see again, but it still was a fun thing. And ultimately, when we saw some of the original costumes in the factory, like the robot scarecrows and stuff like that, their outfits been made, that again was definitely... It could have been up there in the top 10. However, as JayBee correctly predicted, and it's the only thing he's got right this video, is the gang wearing the original costumes was definitely my favourite moment. Just seeing them do that, I think, was really fun. As well, for Shaggy and Scooby, it was kind of like embracing a fear as well. Like, they've always been so scared of the villain. So to see them dress up as them and try on the costume kind of showed great growth and that they were kind of beyond that.
Okay, so... I enjoy that a lot.
Now your honourable mentions.
I've got 2 very small honourable mentions, like almost nuanced, like little bit parts that I enjoyed a lot, but they were too fleeting to be, I guess, on the top 5. So, 1, Esteban Speaks, because it was just such a surprise, but it was just like a funny 1 minute, like 1 second moment. And then again, another one, Daphne's Space Cook Laugh.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, and hearing the story behind that in the interview was amazing. So again, check out the interview.
Was that one even gone out? Which one was that?
All the Trick or Treat ones have gone out.
Was that Audie? Oh, okay. Well, that playlist in the description. So, my number 1, and you're gonna rip me apart, but this is like my thing.
I'm ready.
It is the Change car repair scene.
The one that I just ripped apart.
No, because it wasn't the reveal, it wasn't the design. Honestly, the design I can kind of take or leave, but it was the song. It was I can change, rearrange, and get strange for you if you want me to. Like, it's just there's something new. Oh, it's just...
So, can I just ask you one question?
I want to do karaoke.
You have sat and watched an 80-minute movie, okay? There is a gorgeous, stunning tribute to the original source material. You have the 10,000-foot ghost. You have all the original villains. They mimic some of the costumes right at the start and everything. And you're telling me that your favourite moment is them creating a Walmart mystery machine.
Tear me down, start all over again.
Haven't we seen them like rebuild the mystery machine before and have it look good? Like, for me, that design of the mystery machine's a wasted opportunity because, like, when we saw the original artwork, I thought it was for the bad version of the gang. Like, it was a perfect fit for them.
Oh, no, I said that.
You could have had them in that mystery machine, the real gang in the real mystery machine, and
I thought it was going to be the monstery machine.
It would have been great. And you're telling me that is your favourite moment.
It was
the second, like, not even the best song. It's not even the best song, though.
What, is it not? It's an original song. I think more people are going to be on my side than you'd
Okay,
think.
well, in that case, I want to know in the comments below what everyone's favourite movie from Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo was.
There's something new. But no, it's so good. They need to release that on CD, on download, because that would be like on repeat. It's such a good song, and honestly, maybe I shouldn't have picked it because the scene in itself, obviously there were great things like Daphne hanging up her outfits and that Trevor continuously putting the bats on like the things and Fred getting annoyed, but the song is such a banger.
I will say I like the bats because it kind of did like this back hit thing that kind of called back to something as well. But you can't tell me that that song is your favourite part of the movie.
Oh no, but it's
Are
all
you
of
okay?
it. I think people will see things my way.
Okay, well, as we said, let us know in the comments below what your favourite part of the movie was. I would be very interested to find out if anybody has the same favourite moment as JayBee. I'm not saying mine's the right one, I'm just saying that's the wrong one.
You are.
No, I'm not saying mine's the right one. I started off this going, oh wow, your top 5 list's better than mine. And now I'm like,
yeah, well, it's good though. It's good. We will do it. And you know what? This is a new type of format, hey? So if people want to see this, I would be more than willing to do this for every single director-to-DVD movie. But you won't, because that will involve you watching it again, and then it's just smash or pass all over again. But I don't need to, because I've got the memory of a thing that has good memories.
okay. I will.
I've already got my top one for Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Okay. Okay,
Not
hear
if
me
this doesn't
out.
do well. If this gets like 5 views.
If by Christmas Day
Oh, crud.
this is 200 views reasonable?
Yeah, why not?
200 views, we will start to do one a week throughout the new year alongside Smash or Pass.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, yes, because then when we get to 2002, that would be Christmas all over again. Oh yeah, we'll do that,
but it is going to turn it... Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh no.
We should do a top 10 and a bottom 10.
Moments.
Maybe.
Ooh, but then that's only applicable. Like, I can't think of a
Yeah,
bad
that's
moment
only
there.
applicable to Daphne and Velma.
No,
Okay, if we unanimously don't like the movie, can we do a bottom 10 as well?
Yeah, we will. Well, not bottom 10 moments necessarily, but I want to do like the worst 10 movies.
Okay, hit me.
Worst 10.
Okay, then the 10 things we least liked about Daphne and Velma.
Yeah, but a flashier title, obviously. But yeah, ultimately that.
Yeah, we'll let JayBee clickbait it up a bit.
But you know what? There's only one moment of Daphne and Velma I can think that I don't like, but I'll save that.
Velma's fringe, Velma's karate scene.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
I did a great impression on our Q&A with Mark Marsh. You should watch that as well. But yeah, that does us for the day. We're going to be rambling on with our channel plans instead of providing some good quality.
comment below if you want us to see us do the top 10 for every movie.
Yeah, please share this. Get this to 200 views, please. And yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe.
JayBee and Milly.